Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my anime journal. This is actually the finale of season 5, which is a little weird to think about. Because that means if it's season 5, that means that's been 5 years since I started season 1. Because season 1 was after I finished the 1,000 anime in a year challenge. Yeah, that's 5 years, but basically six? That's crazy. Yeah, that's weird to think about. It is just like my kind of silly little podcast. I mean, even like 83 episodes, I think that I've recorded of this. That's not a huge amount for 5 years. That's that's like what, like 16 episodes a year. That's really not that substantial, but I guess that makes sense. Like considering the way considering the way that I have content to talk about and the way that I've been, releasing these things, it kind of makes sense. It would be a little slow, but um, anyway, we are starting out with Ji Guanli Zhu, or False Memory. Um, Again, I can't Mandarin. Gonna have to apologize for that in advance. But yeah, it's another Donghua. Um, it it's it's kind of actiony. Bugman. It's um, and the some of the animation is like a little bit janky. Like it is 2D. It's not like janky CG. But it's you just look at it. It's like, oh yeah, well, it looks a little off. um, so it's only 18 minutes. So, although 18 minutes is actually a little long for just some random ONA. It is translated at least though. Donghua style of translation where you have the Chinese subs and then you have the English ones underneath of them. Um, yeah, would I recommend it? Not really. E- Even if you're into these genres, it's a part of like action and stuff. I guess there's a psychological element. It's still just not that incredible. It's not really that great. Um, but okay, yeah. After that, I watched Ryusatsu no Kyokotsu, um, which this is actually, so they call it anime no tame, but it's actually the same project as Project Mirai and Project Tamago. Um, it's that same sort of thing of the young animators thing, where the host studio will just allow newbie animators to come in and help them on a short film, which is it's cool that this is a thing. And we've gotten some interesting anime out of it, say like Little Witch Academia or Death Billiards, um, that have actually become real series. Um, but this this one is not one of that. This one was. It kind of has like like a traditional Japanese aesthetic. Like they have it's like set in that kind of a place, but it's just not very good. I didn't really like it. Um, yeah, it is only 10 minutes. Also, yeah, they have gotten shorter. Like the Mirai Tamago were always like 24 or 25 minutes. These ones are only like 10 minutes each, which is kind of depressingly short. Like this one's 7 minutes. Why do they only have a budget for 7 minutes now? That's like nothing. Yeah, like that's so much shorter than we used to get. Um, but yeah, the next one, Home. But by the way, there's four of these that aired in 2021. That I'm gonna talk about them because I watched them all in a row. Because of course I did, because I just noticed they existed and it's like, let's watch them all. Um, yeah, Home. I think I actually heard about Home first and then decided to watch the rest of them just because why not? Home. It's so it's set in the year of 2021 24. Um, Expedition to Mars, and yeah, he discovers a missing commercial vessel. Yeah, so he's on this on Mars, and yeah, he comes across an old vessel and he checks it out, and um, oh yeah, and there's like, I guess some sort of parasite that had infested this like spaceship, and then he has to fight them off or something. It's yeah, it's kind of weird. Um, we're like a space or sci-fi anime. It's a little strange, and also because it's only 7 minutes. Like I guess for 7 minutes, you just can't really do that much with that time. Um, but like it's also just kind of weird as that sort of story. It's I don't know. It was enjoyable enough. But it's not incredible. I they're interesting to see. Like I wouldn't recommend not watching them. Like it's kind of fun and it's like 40 minutes of your time. Like why not? But yeah, they're not incredible. After that, I watched Hachimitsu Suicide Machine. And this is a more psychological one. It has a bit more going on. Oh yeah, horror they call it. But yeah, it's kind of designed to be, I guess, scary. Like there's weird things happening. The art style is rather unique. Um, it's a little slow actually. I guess that makes sense. It would be slow. Oh yeah, the art style is very unique. The main characters. I mean, they don't have. No, they did have personality. This just wasn't great personality. Um, and the girl is sad. I guess that makes sense. It's a suicide machine. It's weird. It's a weird title. Um, I don't know if the title is really super accurate to describe the anime, but yeah, it's a thing. I don't know. I didn't really like it honestly. Um, this next one though, this next one, God, Deliver Police. Deliver Police is it's an ironic masterpiece. It is it's like the gem of the bunch, but it's also the worst. Because like I remember I was it something did you said about how I think it was I can't remember what it was about, but he said like it doesn't have the decency to be offensively bad, and so it just ends up being mediocre and boring. This does have the decency to be offensively bad, um, and man, is it ever just absolutely beautifully just horrible. So um, first the plot. This has a more straightforward plot. Like I guess by straightforward I mean like it's not hard to know what's going on. It's easy to describe. There's Deliver Police is their kind of code name for um basically it's like the Uber of police. It's people who just need a bit of extra cash or want to help out to become policemen and just need some extra cash. Whether it could be after your own job, it could be you haven't actually done the qualifications to become a policeman, but you still want to be a policeman. But yeah, like you either don't have the money or don't have the time or you don't have whatever. You are not capable of actually going through this the regular training, and so you can become a deliver police instead. In a way, it's not that dissimilar from like volunteer firefighters. Like volunteer firefighters, totally normal, and volunteer firefighters can be paid. They are paid significantly less than a career firefighter because they're working less hours. Um, and sometimes they're not paid at all. Like they're called volunteer for a reason. Not all volunteer firefighters are paid, but the ones that are often paid like an alright amount for their time. Um, like it's not a bad gig. It's just that like over the course of a year, because if you're only working like a couple hours a week as a volunteer firefighter, you aren't making that much money, even if you're getting paid a fair bit per hour. Um, but so this is sort of like that. Um, Except it is a little concerning to the very concept of amateur police officers who actually have authority. Because we already know that even the training that, even like properly trained policemen or police officers, sorry, aren't given that much training. Like here in Canada, I've heard it's 4 hours or 4 months in class training, and then 6 months of on the job training, and then you're just a fully qualified police officer. Um, and when you consider what police officers do, like what they're allowed to do, what their job requirements are, and what responsibilities they have, it can be a little scary to know that a lot of them just don't actually have that much experience in terms of like actual training, actual like in class training, that they could know a lot more than they do, and some of them think they know more than they do, and will say like, oh, I know a lot more than you do, but you it is physically possible for a civilian to have a better understanding of the law than a police officer. Uh, like, might not happen all that often, but it's definitely possible. Especially, you say like the civilian could be a lawyer or could otherwise work in some kind of law profession, or work with lawyers. Like it may be that lawyers subcontract this person and they're just exposed to the law a lot. Um, and um, but yeah, so in terms of that, like in terms of living in a world where we have just Uber police, and it's just like you just call up, oh, there's I need a random person who's willing to do police stuff who happens to be in the area, and you just call them up and they fix the crime for you, and they go home and they get a couple extra bucks for doing that. That's a weird concept. But in terms of how the actual anime plays out, um, well, one of the great things about how this anime is designed is there is no Japanese dub, which might not sound so bad. Like say Samurai, well, it was an Afro Samurai, no Japanese dub, just doesn't have one. It wasn't made for, well, it wasn't really made for a Japanese audience. Well, then when they brought it to Japan, they aired it on TV in English dub, with Japanese subtitles, and it was like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. It was made for mostly for the Western audience, and they just kind of brought it over to Japan because why not? Why not? But this one, it is made for a Japanese audience, and the dub actors they got don't really know what they're doing. Um, it's I don't think it's necessarily English. Like I think it might have been that the dialogue was written by Japanese people, and then the actors were actual native English speakers who just aren't trained actors. They're not trained voice actors. They don't. So they just don't really. they don't put the right emphasis in things. Like sometimes they'll be saying something that's supposed to have like a certain tone of voice, and they say it with the wrong tone of voice, and the people directing them didn't really have the knowledge to know that that was wrong. Sort of like how, what was it in Squid Game, like the VIPs, where I've heard some of the VIPs say, "Oh, like there were certain takes where they had actually done a better take in the studio, but the Korean director uh, didn't wasn't aware which one was the better take, and ended up choosing a clip that portrayed them more poorly, um, just because like they're not a native English speaker, so they don't really understand which one sounds better. Um, and well, I feel like this could be a similar situation here, where they're they're not properly trained, I guess. In a way, in a way, that's a good analogy. The fact that the police in this aren't properly trained, the voice actors aren't properly trained, everyone's an amateur, no one knows what they're doing, and and nothing goes to plan. Um, so it is, I guess that is an analogy for itself. Um, I don't know if that's beautiful or if it's just like irony. um, I guess like fitting irony, like they kind of make this thing kind of making fun of these amateurs, but then it's like amateur itself. Although, like it is kind of meant to be like that it's animated by people who haven't worked in the animation industry before. But still, it's hilarious. I would recommend watching it just because it's bad, but it's like bad in like the best way. And yeah, it does follow like a sort of protagonist, but like considering it's so short, it's not like his personality particularly matters. But yeah, he is like he has a day job, and then he just kind of does police stuff just because he needs an extra couple bucks. Um, but yeah, definitely recommend. After that, I watched Paradise. Para, para, Paradise. Yeah, this is a different one. Oh, this is 20 minutes. Um, highly energetic story told from outer space. Wow. I have eight. Okay, it's another independent film though. Was it good? It it was alright. I don't know. Yeah, it just wasn't amazing. Don't actually remember too much about it, but I just don't remember it being good. Um, After that, I watched Nyenko's Hello, Our Brilliant Future, and this I'm not sure how many drugs the creators of this were on when they made it, or how many they expect us, the audience, to be on when we watch it. Um, I would guess at least three, um, just as like a baseline, but more would sounds a bit more accurate. Um, yeah, it is very strange. It's I guess they're cats. They're not like Neko Mimi, but they kind of have like a human, yeah, like a human form, and they're like strange looking. It doesn't look like anime. It looks more like a cartoon, and there's no story. They just kind of move around, and the animation is subpar. Um, it it feels a little like a music video as well. Like there's music the whole time. There's no dialogue, and oh yeah, it's in outer space for some reason. It's I don't know. I didn't like it. I know of one person who I think would like it. If you liked the Flying Luna Clipper, then you'd probably like this one. They both have that kind of energy of not really making any sense, um, and not being particularly well quality either. Like say like what was it, Iblard? Iblard was at least good quality, even though it didn't really have a story. Whereas this doesn't really have anything good to look at either, and the music isn't particularly high quality either. Just it sounds like weird. Like the music does sound weird. It doesn't sound normal. So yeah, if you're into things that are garbage, if you're into things that make no sense and is just like weird, storyless, just images and music, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? It's half an hour. It's honestly longer than it should be. Half an hour. It's like one of the longest half hours in my life. It's actually disgustingly long for what it is. Um, After that, I watched Chikyu wo Mitsu Mete. Um, oh, this was the one from the planetarium, screened at planetariums. Um, this one was actually kind of cool. Oh, this one, yeah, this was quite a ride. So it is educational. That is all it is. It's so there are characters. Our main character is like this little girl, and she's into science, and she looks through like this microscope to see the like the living cells and stuff, and then she's interested in it, and like the narrator informs us of stuff that we probably all learned in like grade 2, because that's probably who this is aimed at. Um and um and then more things happen, and there's like supernatural stuff that happens in it as well, and but then they kind of, even though it's like supernatural and there's like weird stuff that doesn't really make sense, it's like it's all meant to be educational in the same way that, like, say like Cells at Work kind of has like a supernatural element of seeing like these little humans running around in your body, which is not how bodies work, but it's meant to be educational. It Even though that's not how bodies actually work, it's made as like an analogy. And this is like similar to that, where sometimes it's like, oh, this isn't how things actually work. It's meant as an analogy. It's like meant to like kind of make things easier to understand. And because of that, it is an interesting watch. If you are not a child, which I can't imagine you are, like a young child, like I could imagine a teenager listening to this podcast, but like an 8-year-old or something, probably not. Um, if you have kids, maybe this would be useful. I don't know. It like it's educational. It's stuff though that they would learn in school anyway, but maybe it helps explain things a bit better. Like, it's always good to have an extra, point of view on things, right? But yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't recommend it to most people. For most people, it is just a waste of half an hour, and it's weird animation, and it's like, oh, I thought I was watching an anime, not like an edutainment thingy. Um, but yeah, it's a thing. Um, After that, I watched 2005 Nen Uchu no Tabi. Um, 2005 A Space Odyssey. And it aired in 2005. That checks out. It's also a minute long, and it's an experimental short film, and the cover does kind of explain a lot. It's not very good. I haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. I probably should. But yeah, it's not very good. After that, Pole Princess. Um, So this is the Pole Princess Prologue, and I did subtitle this one. If you want to watch my subtitling of Pole Princess Prologue, that is a thing you can watch. So um, I would like to actually give a proper review on this. So it is CG. Um, and maybe not the most high quality CG, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure if just like how if the TV series is going to be CG as well. I'm not sure. But I kind of hope it isn't, because the CG is actually fairly janky. Like in this show, um, they kind of see this sort of mentor character, Azumi, and she's really good at pole dancing. Yes, this is about pole dancing. It's like an idol anime about pole dancing. And why do they pole dance? Want to take a guess? Have you seen Love Live or Girls in Panzer or Zombieland Saga or Shine Post? Yes. So the reason why they are pole dancing is it is to save a planet. I think it was a planetarium, wasn't it? It was a planetarium. Um. Was it a planetarium? Yeah, it was a planetarium. Okay, yeah. So, the main chick, Hinano, her grandmother runs a planetarium, and the planetarium is declining in viewership. Uh, maybe they didn't have an educational 30-minute animation about how the body works. Or random other crap. This GQ one, it was like they kind of taught just all sorts of things. None of it was planetarium related, or at least not very much of it. Uh, I don't think I would recommend her producing a half-hour animated show um, to uh, to promote her planetarium, um, but the way she goes about it is she sees someone pole dancing and thinks, oh, if I pole dance, then I'll bring people into the planetarium, which might might not be untrue. Like that might bring people in. I'm not sure if it would bring the people in who you want to be in a planetarium. Um, in fact, if you say, "Oh, I'm look at me pole dance, come to our planetarium," it's like, will you be pole dancing at the planetarium? I actually don't care about planets. I kind of wanted to see pole dancing. Um, but yeah, that's her big revelation, is to use pole dancing as a way to encourage customers to come to her planetarium, which is a little mismatched. Like the main audience for pole dancing is not really the main audience for planetariums. And in fact, like that's even to the case where if like a parent saw someone pole dancing and was like advertising a planetarium, it's like, oh god, well if they're pole dancing, like is that really the kind of planetarium I want to bring my kids to? Like really? I don't know. For some reason, she sees it as a great idea. I personally don't. But so the mentor character, Azumi, she um in this prologue, in the animation for it, I guess maybe they ran out of budget or something, and they just they just twirled the avatar around the pole. And they even have a line like, "Oh wow, it." I can't remember what. Well, it's not translated by anyone other than me, and I don't have the best Japanese, but it was something like, "Wow, she's just like spinning. It's almost like gravity doesn't exist anymore. Like she just spins around. It's hilarious. Um, it's actually ridiculous. I don't know why um, why they thought this was like a good idea, to have like this like super just janky animation. It's actually hilarious the way that she just kind of moves around it like I don't think that's how pole dancing works, to just kind of like exist around it, and like in terms of geometry and stuff and physics, like that just doesn't seem to make sense. um and if it was like 2D animated, or just like 3D animated but better, like if they just put like a bit more budget in and like actually, put a bit more effort in and made it look a bit more realistic, think it could have been better. But yeah, that this is like, yeah, I don't think that's how pole dancing works. To just kind of like float up and down. That looks very difficult. Um, but a lot easier if you're using like source filmmaker and just like, oh, how do I make it look like they're pole dancing and it spins? Um, but yeah. Um, and obviously she does. It was Azumi does have rather sexy clothing on. Which makes sense in terms of pole dancing. It is funny that that's what Himeno gravitated towards, um, as a method. Um, it seems like it could be fun though, like if they have better animation in the actual TV series than in this prologue. I hope they do. They do look cute. Like the character designs are, well, they're a little generic, but I like them. They're attractive. Um, but yeah, I can only hope for the best. Um, After that, I watched Futari Bun no Shume, um, and this is it's a short clip. It's like 5 minutes, but it actually has really good animation. Um, it's sort of like a Crossroads. Like if you ever seen Crossroads, from Makoto Shinkai, it's just a beautiful animation. It's like 2 minutes. Doesn't really have much of a story, but it feels like it's an advertisement for something bigger, and it isn't. And this is the same kind of thing where it's like, this is an advertisement for something. I kind of hope it is, but it isn't. I don't think it is. Um, but it looks beautiful. Um, it's from Laundra. I don't know. But it's he's he directed this. He did some other work. Did character design for Tsuki ga Kile and Want to Eat Your Pancreas. So that's cool. Um, oh, he did some art for some light novels. That's interesting. Um, but yeah, it looks beautiful. But it doesn't have a huge amount of substance. But I would very much still recommend it. And after that, I watched Nanjamo no Aibo wa Nani Mono Nanja Dono Manja TV. God, that's too long of a name. So this is just two like short videos about this digital influencer. So it's like a VTuber kind of character, but she's introducing Pokemon and stuff, and it's, I don't know, I didn't really like it. After that, I watched Freedom Revisited, and it's it's a prequel to Freedom. Oh, right. The prequel to Freedom, which is like a proper series, like an OVA series, but I didn't really like Freedom Revisited. It's, I guess it's kind of, I guess it's like gangster or something. Not really tribute to the moon landing, but I realized that we shouldn't relax. Um, oh, it's set in space. But yeah, I just didn't really like it, and so I didn't bother watching the OVA. And after that, this is the last anime I watched of the entire year, and it is Celebration and Carol, and it's like a music video, but it's very experimental looking, and I don't like it. It's just gross looking, and I wouldn't recommend it. Um. Anyway, this episode actually went on for longer than I was expecting. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next time. For season 6, which is cool. It's cool that I'm up to season 6 now. And it'll be a fun introduction. Like there's obviously not going to be that much to talk about yet. But I've seen Chainsaw Man. I've seen um, Butchers of Rock. I just finished Dress Up Darling. So we'll have anime to talk about. But yeah. And then it'll be more like a journal again. I'll catch up to everything, and I'll actually talk about things as I've watched them, which is good because it means it's fresh in my mind, and I'll have more to say. Um, anyway, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time, and goodbye.